Sup YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG and I'm back with another battle video. I know it's been a while since I made one, but I was waiting for the release of Dark Explorers just because I want to test out new decks, and I want to show you guys how good the new decks are actually. My opponent is playing the new Zoroark deck, or the Darkness deck, whatever you want to call it. The attack from Zoroark dealing brutal damage for a bunch of damage. And I play Zekrom Eelektrik, the deck that revolves around Eelektrik Dynamotor and just building up some powerful Pokemon like Zekrom, Thundurus. What else we have? Mewtwo EX, Raikou and the stuff like that. But I changed my deck a little bit. Now I run Tornadus EX instead of two Mewtwo EXs, so I run one Mewtwo and one Tornadus EX. And yeah, just place down SkyArrow Bridge, and yeah, I'm going to charge on turn 1 because if I bench something right now, it'll receive damage thanks to that Absol. I'm gonna wait until I have catcher, otherwise all my Pokemon will have damage counters on them, and that's not a very good way to start off. And now it's my opponent's move. He benches that Zoroark, attaches a special energy to it, special darkness to be correct, and then he uses PONT, the great supporter in this format. It'll be bad once it's gone, but we still have it in Call of Legends, so hopefully the next format will be Call of Legends on. That way we'll keep Smeargle and stuff as well. And yeah, he uses SkyArrow Bridge, so he's using my stadium card. That's a really great way to do. If I were him, I would have placed down that Absol. I would have stayed with that because if I don't bench anything next turn, you could attack with Zoroark on the next turn. But yeah, he just decided to retreat that Absol and evolve on turn 1 using Ascension from Zoroark. It's a great way to get Zoroark out of your deck. Just evolve it on turn 1. But yeah, we'll see how it turns out. And as you see, I benched a Tornadus EX, one of the new EXs in the format. I attach a DCE to it, and I'm playing my hands out completely right now using Catcher, PlusPower, and yeah, there's not anything I can do. I'm going to use Random Receiver. Hopefully I can get Juniper, but looks like there's a Sage Training in there. That's also good because yeah, now I can look at the top 5 cards of my deck and just make a selection right there, pick 2 cards. Let's see here. I think I'll go for Smeargle and the switch definitely because I can retreat twice in a row thanks to that. 1 manual retreat and 1 switch, so I'll be discarding PlusPower, Ultra Ball, and Zekrom. I don't plan on using Zekrom that often because yeah, with Tornadus EX I can just knock out every Zoroark in 1 blow. So I use a switch to put Smeargle on the active spot, and I can check my opponent's hand. Looks like there's a dark patch in there, but that won't do much because there isn't a single basic darkness energy in his discard pile yet. And yeah, I'm going for the collector in his hand. Portrait is a great way to look at your opponent's hand and use support at the same time. So I'm going for 2 Dynamos to set me up because once that Absol is active, I won't be able to bench anything anymore without receiving damage. That's why I'm going for the collector right away. Benching 2 Dynamos, and I won't bench that Raikou just yet because yeah, if I bench an EX just like that, that's just foolish. I'm gonna retreat thanks to SkyArrow Bridge, and oh yeah, I was going to put Thundurus as the active, but I was a bit messed up right there. I'm going for Tornadus EX and using the first attack to deal 60 damage, or actually 70 damage thanks to that PlusPower, and knocking out a Sneasel. So there goes my first prize card, and I'm my board looks pretty good at the moment. I have 4 Pokemon on the bench, and my opponent is using his own collector, so his bench will be filled up as well. And he's going for Sneasel, Darkrai EX, and another Sneasel. So he's going for the disruptive method right now because he wants to get my hand completely empty, or at least get rid of all my supporters, so I'm stuck like that. Because once the Eelektriks are out, it's actually pretty dangerous. Zekrom Eelektrik is still strong, and even if you're up against Terrakion or Landorus or Groudon, you can just use Tornadus EX, so that's great. And yeah, looks like he's going for the Brutal Badge, 120 damage. Wow, that's pretty awesome. And looks like that Tornadus EX is barely hanging in there, and he actually deals 130 damage thanks to that special darkness energy he was attached. Yeah, I finally have an Eelektrik out. That's awesome. I always love it when I evolve Dynamo to Eelektrik. Then it's safe, it won't be sniped and stuff. And looks like there's still a Random Receiver and a Juniper in my hand, but I want to use a Random Receiver to get myself a Professor Oak's new Theory or something. But yeah, looks like there's another Juniper in there, so too bad. I'm gonna have to discard 1 Juniper. However, it doesn't really matter because the less cards are in my deck, the more cards I can draw that I really want. So actually, it was a good move right there. So let's see here. I want to bench that Raikou first because otherwise it will be discarded when I use Juniper. And Shaymin is away. He's going to the discard pile right now because of Juniper. But lucky for me, I do run Super Rod, so if I really need that Shaymin, I can still use it if I want to. So that's why I really like this deck, using the Ball Engine and the Junk Arm and the Super Rod and stuff. Let's see here. I'm looking through my discard pile, looking for something. Let's see. Maybe to get out another Eelektrik, because my hand is filled with lightning energy. So if I use Junk Arm, I could just get out something great. So here we go, Junk Arm to lightning energies, which is obvious. And I'm going for, let's see here, Switch would be nice to use Smeargle's Portrait, but nah. I think I'll go for the Ultra Ball here. Let's see. Or, yeah, or Catcher, that will be great as well. Let's see here. Yep, it'll be the Ultra Ball. Alright, another great card from Dark Explorers. Discarding 2 cards from my hand in order to search my deck for any Pokemon I want. So I think I'm gonna use that to get out, or first I'm going to use Dual Ball, and wow, 2 heads, that's crazy. But I only have 1 basic left on my deck, which is Mewtwo EX. And this one will be discarded right away thanks to Ultra Ball. I'm discarding Thundurus and Mewtwo, just because I don't actually need Mewtwo. It has the Darkness Pokemon all have resistance to Psychic, so that would be foolish to use it in this matchup. But I do get out my second Eelektrik. So there we go. Eelektrik number 2. So now I'm safe, and now I'm just gonna have to use 2 Dynamotors onto Raikou and another basic energy thanks to the manual energy from the turn, and I use SkyArrow Bridge to retrieve my Tornadus EX, and I use the sniping attack to deal 100 damage to that Zoroark. I could have just attacked with Tornadus EX, but otherwise he would have been knocked out, and I don't think that your opponent has to take 2 prize cards. If you knock out that EX, I'm just gonna go for the safe route. I'm just gonna put it on the bench, just because I don't think his Pokemon can snipe. At least only the Darkrai and the Weavile can snipe, but I don't think he'll use that if he wants to make a lot of damage, that is. And he's using PokeGear, but unfortunately there's a PokeGear in there. Oh, what am I saying? There's a collector in there. That's pretty bad. That's why I prefer running a deck without a collector, because sometimes your hand is just filled with collectors that you actually don't need because your bench is already full. Yeah, he's going for a bunch of Pokemon, Zoroark and another Darkrai. And for those of you that don't know already, some of these cards are proxies, pretty well made if I say so myself. So yeah, the Darkrai EX full art is proxy. You might see it if you just play it in full screen, but when the video is small on YouTube like stuff, you can't really tell. So that's great. We can use cards that I don't have already, or don't have yet, because my trading or my wanted list on my channel is just updated. If you have something, just let me know. And random receiver gives me N, and we both shuffle like crazy to get ourselves a new hand. I get 4 cards and my opponent gets 6 cards. Pretty fair, and is a great way to disrupt your opponent. But this time around I actually need myself a fresh hand, and looks like there's another random receiver in my deck. As you see, I run 3 copies of random receiver because I think that it's the best item card for consistency that you can have in your deck. That's why I run 3. And I put Eviolite on my Thundurus, use SkyArrow Bridge to retreat my Raikou, and I'm going to use 2 Dynamotors. So as you see, the Eelektrik and Raikou works perfectly together. If you have SkyArrow Bridge, just attack with Raikou 1 turn, then the next turn you attack with someone else, and on the other turn after that you can just attack again with the Raikou to snipe for a prize card, because you can snipe on everything that is on your opponent's side of the field. So awesome. Let's see here. He uses a Dark Cloud on his Darkrai EX. Basic energy on the Darkrai EX again, and then he'll be able to deal 120 damage if he has the other energy on Darkrai EX, so that's a ton of damage, as well as the side effect to snipe 30. And my Tornadus EX is not looking good right there. He only has 40 HP remaining or something. Let's see here. 130, 40 HP remaining. So he's not looking pretty good at the moment. And we again another N to get ourselves a new hand, or in my case a really small hand. 3 cards I only have, and my opponent gets a full hand, 6 cards, because I retreated that Tornadus EX, and that's why my opponent didn't pick a single prize card yet. He evolved into that other Zoroark. He runs 3 Zoroarks with Brutal Badge and 1 Zoroark with Foul Play. And he just evolved to the one with Foul Play. He can use all my attacks for a DCE. Let's see, he can use Disaster Volt or Volt Bolt, or even the Smeargle attack if he wants to. Let's see here. I do have Catcher there. What am I going to do? And I did use Junk Arm. So yeah, going for the catcher for Darkrai EX and Juniper. So I was playing my hand out completely. You always have to do that when you use Juniper. Just play out your hand. That way you can have the most efficient Juniper you can have. Let's see here. My hand is looking pretty good, as well as my board. 2 Eelektriks, a Raikou. Let's see, a Dynamotor on that one. Let's see here, and then another Dynamotor on Tornadus EX. Yeah, that'll be it for my move. I'm gonna retreat that Thundurus and just use a snipe attack again from my Raikou EX. It's just so great. You can just get cheap prize cards like that. Just snipe and bam, another Zoroark is out. And I already picked 4 prize cards, so as you see, Zekrom Eelektrik is still strong. Although that new Darkness deck is pretty dangerous, I don't actually see the power of it. You can see that you can evolve on turn 1 and you can deal 120 damage on turn 2 if you want to, but other than that, if you can keep evolving those Zoroarks into Zoroarks, the deck pretty much falls apart. But we'll be using this deck again, the new Darkness deck, up against, what is the other deck I'm making at the moment? Groudon Terrakion. I'll be making an episode about that as well, so look out for that. I'm still thinking about what I should put in that deck. Terrakion, Groudon, maybe XP share. We'll see how it turns out. So I use a catcher, Zoroark, and my opponent just has to skip a couple of turns because yeah, he doesn't really have anything. And it looks like that Weavile that he evolved, he discarded something. I was talking about something else here. And it looks like he sniped on that Tornadus EX. I'm attaching an Eviolite to my Tornadus EX, and it's actually not necessary because he only has 1 HP remaining, so he'll be knocked out anyway. But I was thinking of something else here. I should have attached that to Raikou EX here. And there we have Super Rod. I should have gone for the Shaymin, but I'll just put on something random since my bench is still full. I'm gonna finish it off right now, right here. If I can knock out that Darkrai EX or one of those, I can just get 2 prize cards, but I'll just go for the cheap way, just knocking out Zoroark, and next turn I just snipe with Raikou EX. So I already had this match in the bag, unless he has catcher to knock out Raikou and Tornadus in one blow. That way he'll have 4 prize cards in one row. That would have been awesome. Let's see how it turns out. He uses N, so we both shuffle. Oh, I only get 1 prize or 1 card because I only have 1 prize card left, and he gets 6, so I'm doing pretty great, I say so myself. My deck hasn't let me down yet, so yeah, he gets 6 cards. Looks like there are 2 dark patches in there, and he's using Ultra Ball, and he's searching his deck for, what is it? For a Zoroark, I believe. So the Ultra Ball can search your deck for any card you want or any Pokemon you want. Small correction there. It would have been great if you have a card like you can search your deck for any card you want. But yeah, in this format, there's nothing like that. Let's see, or if you play Twins, but you don't plan on to fall behind in the current meta format. Because all the decks are so fast, just think about it. Zekrom Eelektrik, turn 2, you can go crazy with Eelektriks. Then we have Celebi, Mewtwo, Tornadus and stuff. Pretty fast. Then the Dark deck dealing 120 damage on turn 2. And 2 dark patches for some reason on the other Darkrai EX. And yeah, what the hell. He already know that he lost, but he's going to do something crazy. Using the attack from Darkrai to deal just 100 damage. So because of Eviolite, just neglects the effect of the Darkrai Eviolite, and Darkrai just yeah, cancel each other out. And looks like he did pick 2 prize cards thanks to knocking out that Tornadus EX. And let's go for the bang, dropping a Zekrom for some reason and just going for another snipe attack. As you see, Raikou is being used a lot in this matchup. Bang, another Zoroark is knocked out. So Zoroark is pretty weak against Raikou and Tornadus EX because both deal 100 damage. So as you see, the dark deck is awesome if you can play it right, with necessary consistency, when you can bring out Zoroarks turn after turn and DCEs and stuff. But aside to that, we'll be checking out that deck in the next battle video as well. I think I'll be playing with that. My opponent will be playing Groudon Terrakion, so yeah, we'll have to find out how the weakness works, if the fighting decks will become on top because of the 2 top decks, the Darkness deck and Eels being weak to fighting. But that's all for this battle video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. You know I always appreciate that, and you can always leave suggestions for some deck ideas you have. It might be a rogue deck or something. I might test it out if I have the time and if it's interesting enough. So that's all for this video. Thanks again for watching. This was ZapdosTCG. Yo.